Welcome to Revolutionary Motion, where we show you tennis from a different perspective. Today we're going to talk about one of the most common misconceptions about the forehand in tennis. And that misconception is that people think they have to rotate the hips into the shot, and that they think that while they're hitting, while they're swinging, they have to take a step forward with their right foot on their forehands. If they're right-handed, obviously. If they're left-handed, with the left foot. Now, where does this misconception come from? People think that Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, Andy Murray, and so on always rotate their hips into the shot. However, they don't. They don't actually rotate their hips, they rotate their upper body. And the hips follow through as a consequence of that upper body rotation. Now, the important part here is that yes, in the end, their hips do rotate, but that rotation, most of that rotation, happens after the contact point. So if you're trying to copy their kinds of strokes and you're trying to rotate your hips into the shot, you're going to lose control over your direction because you're not going to rotate this to the same degree every single time, and it will be difficult for you to find the perfect contact point in the process. So instead, what you want to do is, no matter if you're hitting open or closed stance, you want to make sure that your hip rotation does not happen until the ball is off the racket. If your upper body rotation is rotating so quickly that you can't keep your hips on the floor at all, again, you have to wait until the ball's off your racket before you can let your hips follow. For most people, however, their upper body rotation is not fast enough to drag the hips through in the process. So if they're trying to rotate their hips, it's an active rotation of the hips, which is never advised on the tennis court, no matter if you're hitting a backhand or a forehand. So what you want to do instead is keeping your hips stable for as long as you can, and if you don't even feel the need to rotate your hips while you're rotating your upper body, because your upper body rotation is simply not strong enough or fast enough, then keep your hips in place, meaning don't move your right foot forward in the process of your stroke. Keep your right foot on the ground, swing all the way through, find your balance here. It's much easier to control your shots, you're going to feel a lot calmer, and guess what? You're also going to look a lot more professional because now it looks more elegant if only one part of your body is moving and not everything at the same time. So if we're taking a look at the motion from the side, you will see that this motion is good, where my foot stays on the ground, I'm not rotating my hips until the contact point, and this motion here is not beneficial to you. Making sure that you don't lose control over the direction of your shot because your hips are rotating too much. If I'm trying to keep my foot on the ground, my right foot on the ground during my motion, I do the right thing because my hips don't rotate and I don't lose control over the direction of my shot. If, however, on the other hand, I'm pulling my hips through as I'm swinging, I make a mistake because now I will lose control over my shots much more frequently.
And now here we have a slow motion video of both of those cases. The first one being me rotating my hips too early with the shot and most likely losing control in the process. And the second one being my hips completely still and my upper body rotation doing the trick without losing control over my lower body rotation. And then next we'll see the same thing happening in regular speed. When I'm hitting here, I'm stepping through too early, and then after the first few you will see how I'm trying to keep my hips in position and keep my right foot on the ground so it doesn't rotate too early. And now one last thing that we're going to show is me hitting from the back so you can kind of see where the ball goes, and it's a lot easier for me to control my shots when I keep my right foot on the ground for a bit longer and keep my hips from rotating. Because here when I over rotate, it's very difficult for me to control the direction of my shot, and I promise I'm trying my best here to control the ball, but it's very, very challenging turning my hips that far.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.